Okay, so in this part of the lesson, we're going to be working with finding solutions to inequalities. And a solution of an inequality is a value that makes the inequality a true statement. An inequality can have more than one solution, and the set of all solutions of an inequality is called a solution set. Okay, so you guys have been working a little bit with actually graphing solution sets. In our activity for this lesson, we also worked with identifying some pieces of a solution set, like when they would ask us to name 4 more numbers that would fall into that scenario. That was naming 4 more numbers that would fall into the solution set. Okay, so one thing I want to make sure that I remember to go over is sometimes you're going to see this symbol right here. This symbol, whenever you've got a line that is marked through it, it means that it is not less than or equal to, or it could be reversed. They could also be doing it like this, not greater than or equal to. They could also say not greater than or not less than. Okay, so anytime they put that slash mark through that, it's the same as putting the word not in front of that statement. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to be working off of the same equation. We're going to use this equation every time for right now. And we're going to go through and substitute in some values for x so that we're understanding what a solution is. So the first value they want us to use is -2. So notice how I put -2 right here. And now we're going to go through, and for now I'm just going to cover this part up. And we're going to go through and solve. -2 plus 2 gives me 0. Now, if I uncover that part that I just colored over, we'll go ahead and put that in there. And then we're going to read the statement and see if that's a true inequality. Is 0 less than or equal to -1? Well, let's look at our number line because some of you are visual. So here's 0. Where would -1 fall? -1 would be over here. So is 0 less than 1? Or sorry, less than -1? No, 0 is greater than -1. So that would be a not true statement. So then over in this box, we would say no. Okay, 0 is not less than or equal to -1. Okay, but right now they just want us to use yes or no. So I'm just trying to explain to you how you could use that symbol. The older you get, you'll come across that symbol more often. Okay, so the next one we have -3. So I'm just going to put -3 in this box. So now if I do -3 plus 2, that's going to give me a -1. And then I'm going to bring that symbol down. Is -1 less than or equal to -1? Yes. Okay, because -1 can equal -1, right? So then it's a true statement. Now we'll put -4 in there. -4 plus 2 would give me -2, less than or equal to -1. So if I continue my number line, is -2 to the left or less than -1? Yes, it is. Okay, -2 is less than -1. Okay, it's not equal to in this situation, but it is less than. So this would be a true statement. Yes, it is less than, just not the equal to at this point. Okay, so that's working through finding some solutions to an equation. So a solution set right now of the ones that we know would be like -3, -4. Usually in a set, it's listed like this. And then they might have ... referring that it continues infinitely in that same order. Okay, so let's go ahead and try a few more of these. Okay, so we've got this table. I'm going to pull out some samples that we can use. Okay, so whoops. So it says tell whether -2 is a solution of each of the inequalities. So for both of these, we're going to use -2. Now we are using different equations. Okay, so we're not using the same equation. In the previous example, we use the same equation every time. This time for A, we're going to use the equation y, which we're going to use -2 for y. So our equation is y minus 5 greater than or equal to -6. So I'm going to substitute in -2 where y is. So is -2 minus 5 greater than or equal to -6? So now let's solve that. -2 minus 5 would give me a -7. Is that greater than or equal to -6? So let's think about our number line. And we have to think in terms of, we're working negative numbers. So if -6 is here, -7 is this way, right? -8, this would be -5. Okay, it's negative number, so it goes in the opposite order. So is 7 to the right of -6? No, it's to the left. So that would be a not true statement, so this should be a no. And if we want to, we could write -7 is not greater than or equal to -6. Okay, so let's try the next one. I'm going to erase this bottom and I'll actually write down in this bottom box here. Okay, so the equation we're using for B, and we're still going to use -2 for the number, is -5.5 times y less than 14. Well, I can tell right now 2 negatives is going to make it a positive. So we need to figure out what 5.5 times 2 is, because we're substituting in this -2 where y is. Okay, so we're going to do -5.5 times -2. 2 negatives make it a positive. So I just found out that that's 11 less than 14. So is that a true statement? Okay, is 11, here's my number line, here's 14, 13, 12, 11, this would be 15. Is 11 to the left of 14 on the number line? Yes, it's smaller than or less than. So this would be, yes, it is a true statement. Okay. All right, so that's working with finding some solutions. So I'm going to pull 2 more out here. I want you guys to go ahead, try them out. Pause your video and then check back in just a minute and see if your answers match mine. So go ahead and pause your video and work your way through letters C and D. And you're going to use -5 for the solution on each of those. And identify whether or not it is a true statement. Okay, so there's your 2 solutions. So for the first one, when we substituted in the -5 and solved, we had 7. Is 7 greater than 7? No, they're actually equal to each other. So no, they are not. -5 is not a solution to that equation. And then the second one, when we put -5 in there, the key thing to remember on this is when you substitute in and you had y minus 2, that negative sticks with the 2. So when I go through and I multiply that out, that would be like a -2 times a -5, which would give me a positive 10. So then 1 plus 10 gave me 11 for the left side of the equation. Is 11 less than or equal to -9? That would be also a no, because 11 is actually greater than -9. Okay, so that's it for this part of the lesson. Good luck, and once again, just keep plugging away, understanding that you're going to substitute in, solve, and then use your number line if you need it to be able to identify whether or not that is a true statement for or a true solution for that inequality. Good luck.